Longtime Trump confidant Roger Stone was indicted on multiple felony charges over the weekend. Actually, on Friday, the news broke. And he went to do a press conference to say that he's innocent. And here's what else he had to say about it.
There is no circumstance whatsoever under which I will bear false witness against the president, nor will I make up lies to ease the pressure on myself.
Okay, fair enough. Now, over the weekend, he had an interview with George Stephanopoulos, and he changed his tune a little bit. Take a look.
Any chance you'll cooperate with Special Counsel Robert Mueller if he asks?
That's a question I'd have to determine after my attorneys have some discussion. If there's wrongdoing by other people in the campaign that I know about, which I know of none, but if there is, I would certainly testify honestly. I'd also testify honestly about any other matter, including any communications with the president.
So his charges include tampering with witnesses, a radio show host named Credico. He threatened him by saying all sorts of things that I can't repeat here, but he even threatened Credico's dog in order to prevent him or deter him from participating or cooperating with Mueller's investigation. And he lied to Congress. I mean, there are some serious charges here, and it's likely that if he's found guilty and there's overwhelming evidence presented, that he'll spend some time in prison, and I hope he does.
Credico sounds like a rapper, and threatening somebody's dog sounds like gangster rap. I don't know. Luckily, we have an expert here.
My frat partner LP threatened to shoot a bunny.
A bunny? Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's different.
But a dog is to another level. That's like your friend, man. You know?
Yeah, that's not right.
This guy sounds like a gangster rap scenario though. Like, I'm not gonna snitch on my homies. Like he's gonna be in jail with Tekashi 6ix9ine. But everyone knows though, for all my homies who've been in feds, rich white guy feds is totally different from black guy feds.
Yeah,
their federal prisons are cakewalks. They get to wear New Balances and talk on the phone and just do light yard work. Not the same as nonviolent drug offender federal crime.
Right.
Yeah. We had Tommy Chong on the show recently, and so Tommy's awesome.
He's a man.
Yeah, but he got to go to white person prison when he went to prison.
Yeah, God bless us.
Yeah, because they had him on totally made up charges. They just wanted to teach people a lesson. It was about selling paraphernalia related to marijuana. It wasn't even marijuana, right? And he didn't even do it anyway. But they're like, okay, fine, you go to white person prison, okay?
Yeah.
And he was in jail with the Wolf of Wall Street. That was actually the guy that he was closest to in prison. And so anyway, Tommy explained on the program. He's like, no, it was kind of a nice break.
Yeah.
Like it was like a resort almost. And we played tennis, we had a good time, right?
People think it's a joke, but the bankers that have robbed your money and the people who go to jail for white collar crimes, which essentially, when you say white collar crimes, sound harmless, but robbed your parents' pension fund. It's the reason your mother lives with you now and can't afford her medicines. Those people go to a minimum security federal prison that is radically different from the one non-violent drug offenders go to. So if you're a 17 to 27-year-old black kid, you sell a few pounds of marijuana, your jail experience is going to be radically different than if you are someone on Wall Street who robbed hundreds of thousands of people of their pension they've worked 30 years for.
By the way, both of them,
just so we know we're fair in this country.
That's right, and both of them are economic crimes. One is a much lower economic crime but gets punished more heavily. One is a person in need and is struggling to find opportunity. The other one is making an active choice to do something immoral they know is robbing from a lot of different people. One gets treated way better than the other. Look, we joke around about white people in prison. In reality, of course, there's tons of white people in very harsh conditions under prison.
Poor ones.
Yes.
Poor,
yeah, exactly. It's about
decision.
class. Yeah, that's right. Now, look, there's extra discrimination against black people in this country in the justice system. But in terms of who goes to what prison, if you're rich, you go to the nice prison.
Absolutely.
If you're poor, no matter what your race is, you go to the prison under terrible conditions. Now, when we turn to Roger Stone, I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if Roger Stone got to go to regular prison instead of the fancy prison? And so apparently that is beginning to concern him, okay? So that's why all of a sudden, could I cooperate with Mueller? I mean, maybe I could, right? And so what is he doing there? Let me explain. He's sending a message to Trump. Look, I'm telling you, I'm unequivocally backing you, but don't get me wrong, I need a pardon. If I don't get a pardon and I'm going to prison, I'm not taking that bullet for you, right? So Like, let's just get this thing straight. So that is why he had to send that message through Stephanopoulos. I mean, I could cooperate with Mueller. So in other words, he's the same as everyone else. He's just trying to find a different avenue out, which is a pardon rather than cooperate.
The pardons are coming. You got to give him no points for the homeboyism of it all. Like, he's holding true like a gang member, blood or crippin'. He's doing his thing because, like, if you look at Bush 1, when Bush 1 wasn't president anymore on his exit out, he pardoned those people that were involved in Iran-Contra. William Clinton did something similar. This is what presidents do. This is what they're allowed to do. And this is what I call from the beginning. I think that anyone you see related to the president that gets nailed to the wall, you will see him pardoned either after the 4 years or after the 8 if he happens to win another one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a nightmare scenario.
Well, we need to run the old man then.
Yeah.
Well, look, here, I think he's saying, no, you don't get it. I'm not waiting 2 years. I'm not waiting 6 years.
I think he might sit down. Like, I think when the president sits down and talks to him, like, look, you're gonna sit this down or you're gonna end up laying down for life. You know what I mean? I think, there's something about 2 years in prison or death. Because, you gotta remember, it's still the president. He still has an interest. And sometimes people who speak against presidents don't wake up in the morning. So,
Yeah, I mean, although you would need the FBI, et cetera, for that. I'm not sure they're his best friends.
I'm just saying, as the black guy in the room, it's happened to a lot of our leaders.
Yeah, well, that's certainly true. But I wouldn't want to equate Roger Stone to any of them.
Definitely, but don't mean you can't get knocked off. I'm just saying, think about people who have power want to keep power. And I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but let's be very honest. A lot of people that have been around the powerful people that are around our country that went into dissent didn't wake up, and I think that we now have a situation where we need to watch very closely who gets pardoned, who doesn't get pardoned, and not just watch to see which obituaries pop up in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, look, it is a well-known fact that snitches do get stitches.
Come on now.
God, you're such a giant dork.
Agreed. But to Killer Mike's point, look, Donald Trump talks like a mob boss. He talks of rats, right? What does a rat do? He turns evidence about a criminal conspiracy to the authorities,
Absolutely.
Right? So you don't, if you're innocent, like if they ask me, hey, Cenk, somebody might turn evidence against you on a bank robbery, I wouldn't call them a rat. I'd say they're making things up, but I wouldn't call them a rat because a rat implies that we did the bank robbery together and he's snitching on me, right? So so when Stone says he's not going to be a rat, and Trump says he's a stand-up guy, he'll do the right thing, right? It's super obvious what's happening. You have to actively try hard not to see it when they all look and talk like criminal conspirators and a mob. And so that's what's happening here. But that's one of his lieutenants, one of his capos, sending him a message. Hey, look, Donnie, I'm loyal to you, but you got to do something for me too. And that's why he went on TV to say that.
Yeah, and even if Trump weren't making comments about rats and non-rats, good guys and bad guys, I just think that his behavior on Twitter and the panic that we see from him on a regular basis in regard to this Mueller investigation is so transparent. Like, he's so transparent in showing that there was some wrongdoing. And obviously we can only speculate as to the extent of that wrongdoing, but it's incredible how dim-witted he is and how he can't stop himself by showing how panicked he is on Twitter. Just stop using Twitter. Stop talking about how panicked you are. I mean, I'm enjoying it, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But if I were someone who actually cared about him and wanted to protect him, I would prevent him from talking about the Mueller investigation at all on social media.
Yeah, and so back to Roger Stone for one more sec. So, he's a guy who's constantly bragging about things he's gotten away with. So things he made up about Elliot Spitzer, and he talks about it in open public. Haha, I lied about him. He's a dirty trickster, et cetera. What do you guys think dirty tricks means? Do you think it means like positive things? No, it means things that are shady and possibly illegal, right? So now when he gets caught, he feigns outrage, like, oh, me, the famed dirty trickster. He did this when he got caught. That's Richard Nixon's sign, and Richard Nixon was guilty, right? And famously said, "I'm not a crook," when he was a crook, right? So for that guy to then turn around and pretend like, oh my God, I mean, look, this guy busted onto our set. Roger Stone did with Alex Jones. He trespassed, et cetera. And what did he do? He got away with it. The RNC let him walk around. They didn't bust him, et cetera. He's been getting away with this stuff for decades.
Yep.
So that's why he can't believe that the law would also apply to him.
Tick, 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 tick.
That's right. Bad news for you, Roger. Here come the law. And so this time when you get the handcuffs, it wasn't the way that you were planning earlier. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell
to never miss another video from the Young Turks.